Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the post-debate conversation here with Michaelantonio live. I just wanted to know what everybody thinks about the debate tonight. Do not hold back. I don't care which side you agreed with or which side you thought did better. I want to hear your answers. I want to know what you think about all this. I'll tell you what I think. Before I get into, who I thought actually won the debate based on merit, I will tell you that I'm going to make an admission tonight. I'm going to tell you and admit to you, I believe Joe Biden spoke more articulately than I thought he would. He did a little better job with that. I thought he was going to melt down completely. Although I will say that he did say a few things that really hurt him. So, there's that. And we'll get into that. But, I want to tell you that from the standpoint of the effectiveness of the debaters, Donald Trump was far more effective. Because you see, Joe Biden, everything he did was basically repeat Democrat leftist talking points. Essentially just attacking Trump's character, attacking Trump's record, which really, he doesn't have a bad record. Everything Joe Biden said about his record was made up. It's just he essentially lied about it, saying what's not true, but he's just hoping that the American people will believe his lies. That's really what it comes down to. And again, I don't care if you don't agree with me on this. That's why there's a comment section here, and I want you to comment to me. I want you to tell me what you think about this debate. Who won? Who actually did maybe better than you thought they would do? Who you didn't like, who you liked. I don't even care. Just tell me what you think. But I'll get into some of the things that I thought really hurt Biden. And I can tell you that him insulting our president like 2 or 3 times. Remember, he told him to shut up, called him a clown. Then another time he said shoosh. And then he, several times he said, well, he just insulted him several times. Well, he doesn't ever shut up. He doesn't. It's just, this is not really, they talk about conduct becoming a president. You know how they say that Trump is unpresidential in his behavior? Well, I got to tell you, I think, Biden acted very unpresidential tonight in many instances. And one of the things that bothered me about Trump, I'll get into Trump a little bit here. I think Trump should have addressed the lies that Biden told about him. Like, for instance, the lie that when Trump said there are very fine people on both sides, he did not mean white supremacists as one side versus the other. He meant the conservatives who didn't feel that it was right for a statue to merely be torn down simply because one group of people wanted it torn down. Those who oppose just the wanton disregard for history. So I think that's what he was talking about. He specified that in the press conference, if you remember. Of course, Democrats forget about that. Biden obviously has several times because he keeps repeating it. Now, either he's a liar, a bold-faced liar, or he doesn't really know what he's talking about. He didn't really see the entire press conference when Trump said, I totally condemn white supremacists. And the KKK, by the way. So the point is, when they ask Trump to condemn all these things, he already has several times. No reason to continue this. But let's get into a little Twitter observation here and see what the rest of America and the world thinks. Like I said, I gotta tell you, I really believe that Trump held his own. He did a good job. A couple of things that I would have done, like I said, he should have addressed the lies. He didn't really get into that too much. And I understand, there's a lot on his plate, a lot going on there. It's difficult when you're in the middle of a fire. I don't know how many of you people have been in a debate yourself in the middle of a situation like that where you're under fire at every moment. You have to be on point. And it's very difficult sometimes to kind of position yourself to recall things that you need to recall and, stand up and fight exactly the way you wanted to. You're always going to go back and second guess yourself after a situation like this. That's just the way it is. I've been in debates, I feel like I'm pretty good at debates. I'm very good at it. And even I would have second guessed if I were the one debating Joe Biden tonight. I'm sure there are things I would have missed and I would have gone back and said, man, I should have done this or that. That's the way it works. But I think Trump did a very good job. He told the truth. He addressed when he needed to. And like I said, it's up to America to either believe Joe Biden or to call him out for the lies that he told. I don't know. So let's get into this. Let's take a look at some of the things that were said by America. So we can get into Mark Levin, the great conservative. Now this is what I was saying here. Let's read Mark Levin. Biden got away with endless lies and cheap shots, which is true. The questions were mostly asked from a left perspective, which again is true. Chris Wallace is a leftist. I don't care if he says he's not. I don't care if he works for Fox News. Doesn't matter. He's a leftist. The science of climate change. What's wrong with critical race theory, training, etc.? That's right. I mean, a lot of these things are leftist talking points, and Chris Wallace seemed to defend them. And then, of course, Mark Levin ends it with saying, and Biden went unchallenged by the moderator far too often. Again, very true. It seemed like Chris Wallace was kind of calling out Trump far more often. I mean, he showed a little bit of respect in saying, sir, and, Mr. President, that's fine. But he should have been more critical of Biden equally, and he was not. Absolutely was not. So, let's see here. I'm looking for some leftist perspectives here because, again, I want to hit all bases, okay? I want to hit all the bases. Now, here's a guy named Dread Pirate. He's saying Biden refused to acknowledge that Antifa is anything more than an idea. And that's something that's going to nail Biden. That's one of the things when he was asked, will you condemn the violence of Antifa and the left wing? And what did Biden say? He said Antifa is just an idea. And that's a lot. That's not even, either he's really behind on this, either he doesn't know, or he's a liar. I think I'm going to go with the liar part, because, come on, these people have to know what's going on here. They have to know, they have to know that Antifa, the leftist organization, is the one creating most of the problems here. And I'll add in BLM as well. BLM is a Marxist organization. We know that. That's absolutely true. But what are we going to do about it? It's, the media is mostly leftist, so they're going to defend these people. Unfortunately, that's exactly what's going to happen. So, it's funny. I don't have a lot of leftists here on my page. I'd like to see some of the people. I know that I did see earlier, I saw Meathead, Rob Reiner, on here, saying that, Biden won the election. It's just, you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh at these people. Biden won the election. Come on, just from this? Seriously. And now I gotta get into Tim Pool. He did a little poll here. Maybe they should call him Tim Poll tonight. He said, which one are you voting for? And then he put, he didn't name them. He put senile crackpot crony or a-hole loudmouth TV star. And of course, we know who he's referring to. And of course, the loudmouth TV star is leading 93.3% to 6.7%. Now, I will add that Tim Pool has a largely conservative and libertarian audience. So that will kind of skew the results a bit. But hey, you know what? And now we got Hotep Jesus on here. He's a little controversial and funny at times. He said, and I got to agree with this one, I'll be the one to say it, we don't need it to see another debate. I think he's right. I think he is right. Now, here's a question that I saw, an answer, something I wanted to comment on that I saw earlier. Bill O'Reilly, Mr. Conservative himself, he said, he's not even right about this, he says Trump does not answer the question about $750 paid in personal federal income tax. That's actually not true, Bill. It's actually not true. Trump did answer the question. Trump said that he paid millions. Now, last time I checked, millions is not anywhere near $750. So I'm sorry, Bill. I don't know where you're getting that from. You better clarify what you're saying there. I absolutely don't see your logic. And of course, Larry Elder, the staunch conservative black leader that we need him to be, he says Trump should have pounded Biden on the Charlottesville both sides lie. And this is what I was talking about. Absolutely. Why would Trump allow him to continue getting away with this? You know, and then of course he also said, let's see, he should have nailed him for lying about getting arrested trying to see Nelson Mandela. That's not true. That never happened to Joe. Let's see. I mean, it's just, there's so many lies that Joe Biden has told. And it's funny how everybody calls Trump a liar. Really? These people are just ridiculous. They are ridiculous. So it's funny, all the things that they are saying here. Oh, let's see, somebody else here did a poll. Let me do this poll. Ready? Who won this debate? Now, I'm going to say Donald Trump. I really believe he did. Yes, I skew to the right. Of course I do. But I do believe, of course, that Donald Trump did win this debate. I think he did. And, well, of course, this one says 97.4% to 2.6% for Trump. I really believe that he did. Now, I mean, Joe Biden did better than I thought he would from an articulation standpoint. He didn't stammer too much. He kept on point as best as he could. But I guess for his standards, he did okay. Now, is that going to help him? I don't know. Maybe it will. We'll find out in the morning. But I think that, overall, I don't think it helped him, but it didn't hurt him too much. I think what's going to hurt him is two things. One, the disrespect that he showed towards the president, telling him to shut up and calling him a clown to his face. I think those things are going to hurt him with the swing voters. There are many moderate Democrats and Republicans that they're just waiting for an excuse to vote for Trump. And I think Biden gave them that excuse. I think that's what happened tonight. So yeah, I think it's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt Biden in the end. But what are you going to do? I don't know. I can't guarantee any of that stuff. But it's just funny how, it's just funny, these people. I swear I can't find a single leftist on here that really, I'm trying to find one. Let me see if I can find one. Let's see here. Is there anybody on here? I think I'm going to have to actually just go and search for one. This is crazy. Wow. Let me see here. I know you really want. Yeah, let's go to Meathead. I think we should just go to Meathead. That really, that right there will definitely make it interesting, because right now it seems like on my board here I couldn't find anybody. Okay, so here we go. Rob Reiner. We just won the election. Yeah, all right. Let's see here. Let's see how many leftists here. Yeah, let's see here. I don't know if any of these. Let me see. Well, here's somebody, Baby Doll. Let's see what they're saying. Oh no, this one went right. Yeah, can't really. Wow, there's even the people on Rob Reiner's thread here are just, they are totally pummeling Mr. Reiner, Mr. Meathead. They are pummeling him. I can't even find one person that even agrees with him. Wow. And that's kind of surprising, because usually on a Democrat thread, especially like the top Democrat Hollywood people and those types, you know, most people agree with them on their threads. Most people are like, preach it, brother. Where would, I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of that. In fact, I haven't really. Wow, I'm not seeing it at all. Well, this is just crazy, man. And here's somebody that that didn't really address whether Biden won or not, but he said this guy's name is Stripe, and he's a moderate, but he says he's a moderate. But let's see. World, he said. World : note that Trump once again refused to condemn white supremacists. And and here we go. This is a lie, of course, because if you look at it, Trump did not refuse to condemn white supremacists. He's done it several times, on camera, by the way. We have it on record. So when he says once again, that's baloney. That's not even true. These people can't even tell the truth. So no, Mr. Stripe, you are not a moderate. You're not. Because if you were a moderate, you would never say what you just said. Sorry. Man. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, it's just, I like some of the things that Trump did, even though people would say it's a little over the top. I like how Trump went directly after Biden with regards to his son Hunter, with the money he received, the millions he received from Russia. And it was just, to me, people say that's a little over the top. No, it's not, because Joe Biden's been attacking Trump's credibility and character for how long? Some of the horrible, he called, by the way, another insult that I forgot to tell you about tonight. Biden called Trump a racist to his face tonight. So if Biden's going to do that, look, nothing is off the table. The gloves are off, folks. This is war. Trump can say whatever he wants now. Even he knows that. So when Trump went after him, if you ask me, I don't think Trump went after him hard enough. But he did go after him, and he went after issues that Biden really needs to address, like when he said, and I like how when Trump, I believe it was when Trump asked him, name me one law enforcement agency that endorsed you. Name just one. Biden couldn't do it. And you know what? Even if Biden did have one somewhere, somebody did, there's not enough of them even for Biden to even be able to recall it. Literally, I don't think any did, but even if one did, there's so few of them that it was like Biden couldn't even do it. He was either that's one of the areas where Biden was just, again, because of his dementia that maybe he just couldn't do it. Or, it's just so bad. He's not getting any support from law enforcement that he literally could not. So what do you do? I don't have time to talk about it. This is something that you get. Now, I'm a little psychology lesson, and most of you already know about this and how to use this. It's a technique. It's a tactic in argument. It's a technique to kind of, to redirect. And it's kind of condescending. It's supposed to be used to disarm, but if you're smart enough to diffuse it, I would do this. This is what I would do. Biden said, well, I don't have time for that. That's what a lot of people say when they can't answer a question, when they lost the argument. Well, I don't have time for this. In other words, what they're saying is they're trying to treat the other person like you're not important enough. This issue's not important enough. Your argument's not important enough, and I don't have time for this. Like, I'm better than that argument. That's really what they're trying to say. It's a condescension. It's a way to try to disarm the person that's trying to question you when they put you in a corner. And the problem is it doesn't work against smart people. If you're a smart person or a wise person, you understand what they're trying to do, and you have to call them out on it. You cannot let them go. I think Trump did let him go on that, but I wouldn't. I would not have let him go on this. I would have said, wait a minute, you do not get to make this argument. You're not allowed to do this. Because what you are doing is trying to deflect. You're trying to condescend to me like, oh, you're better than this. Oh, that's a stupid argument to me. I don't have time. Let's get on to more important things. And I've had this argument with people that do that. This is what they try to do. And it really is a stupid way to deflect. Now, again, there are people that will fall for it. It's a psychological technique. It really is. It makes people think, oh man, they got me there, I guess. I can't, oh man, they're really making me feel small now. So I guess it works on people who don't have a lot of self-confidence. If you don't have a lot of confidence in your argument or in yourself to be able to back up your argument, then you're going to be shut down by those things. But me, are you kidding? That fuels me, man. When people say stuff like that, that fuels me. That makes me angry because I'm like, you know what? You think you're going to beat me with that argument? Or how about this one when they say, whatever, really, oh, really? In other words, once they say whatever, that pretty much means you beat them. You won the argument. Or anytime they try to make it seem like you are less important, you are less important than the argument. They're trying to basically say, well, I don't have time for this. I've got to go to work, or I've got to do this, or I got to do that. Or anytime they pull something like that, that's when you know you won. You got them. And that's when you don't let up. Go at them harder. And I don't mean meanly. I don't mean you attack them in a mean-spirited way, but you go after the argument harder. You say, nope, I'm waiting for an answer. If you can't answer that question, then you lost this argument. You have nothing. Because that is the cornerstone of the whole, the whole subject matter. When the subject was brought up, what about law enforcement? What about law and order? So when Joe Biden says, well, I don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. Well, wait a minute. That's the whole argument. If law enforcement is not backing you up, you know what that tells me as an American? That tells me that you really are not for law and order. You're not for law and order. And that the other guy has you on that one. Now, yeah, if it's evenly divided, if you've got some departments supporting one of it, then, you know what, whatever. It's two different, maybe, ideas on how to govern in that regard. But I think that because Biden, first of all, supported defunding the police at first, and he had to kind of backtrack on that, but I really believe that what he said first was what he really believes in. He does believe in defunding the police. He does believe in making America weak again. That's what he wants to do. He wants to make America weak again. And maybe that's our catchphrase. That's our new slogan for Joe Biden. Make America weak again. You know? Yeah. I know, it doesn't have teeth, does it? But hey, it sounds pretty cool. We'll think of a better one, but until then, I like that. Biden. Make America weak again. Do you like that? Tell me in comments what you think. And in general, I want to know, like I said before, I want to know what you think about that argument, because you know what? As far as I'm concerned, Joe Biden, he lost on several fronts here, although he did do better than I thought he would. Still, I mean, come on. And the lies he told about Trump, horrible lies. And because nobody calls him out, because the media protects him, guess what? He's never going to get called out for those lies. It's just going to have to, the American people are going to have to do their research. And that's hard, because American people, we're tired. We've been through the ringer over the last 4 years, and we're tired. And we don't really, I hate to say it, but we don't feel like doing our homework. But we're going to have to. This, our future in America here, what America will become, depends on us doing our homework, guys. Can you do your homework? Seriously? You gotta do your homework, man. This is getting ridiculous. It's insane. It really is. So, let me check my notifications. This ought to be fun. This kind of tells me what people are saying. I'll tell you one of the things I wrote tonight that I thought was poignant. I wrote, if Americans are stupid enough to believe Biden's multiple lies, then a case could be made for a Joe victory tonight. I don't believe America believed Joe. So yeah, I believe America is smart. I truly believe that America did not believe Joe Biden's lies tonight. I believe that America is solidly on the side of Donald Trump. And I said this too. When you call the president a clown and tell him to shut up, you lost all the swing voters. I believe that as well. So, let me know what you think. Do you really believe that? Do you not believe that? I mean, it's getting to the point where I do get a little bit nervous sometimes about the American public, where they're going. I see the polls, and of course the polls are skewed because they do oversample. I gotta say this again, guys. Can I tell all of you? Don't be as worried as you are right now. I know some of you are worried. But remember something. When they do these polls, they oversample Democrats by up to 10%. Anywhere between 7 and 10%, depending on the poll. And I'll tell you what happens. When you do that, you're going to get a 7 to 10% skew, which means it's outside, listen again, it is outside of the margin of error. Which means the margin of error is usually what? 2, 3, 4% max? So if you've got a 7 to 10% skew, that means that really, in most of these most of these polls, Trump is ahead. At least by 2, 3% in many cases. So, and you can say, well, what about the margin of error? 3%. Well, then we're dead heat. Well, if we're a dead heat, according to the Electoral College, that means that, Trump's going to win this election. Because according to Electoral College, you know, that 2 or 3% margin of error, it's going to California, it's going to New York. I do not expect California or New York to go to Donald Trump. Could it? Yeah. Stranger things have happened. Maybe it will. But I think that 2 or 3% margin of error will go to those two states, and so it's insignificant. It really doesn't have any meaning. So even if Joe Biden does win the popular vote by 2 or 3%, it won't matter. It's going to be California and New York that gives that to him. And then, of course, Trump will take Florida. He will take either Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, or Minnesota. He's going to take, I think, at least, 3 out of 4 of those states. And even if he wins 2 out of 4 of those states, he's got this election in the bag. Because I'm more than certain he's going to take Ohio. So, I don't know. I'm sometimes I get a little bit nervous about the polls, but again, you have to remember they said the same thing about Hillary, and they really haven't changed the way they do polling. It hasn't changed, guys. So, they do this polling, it discourages Republicans. That's what they're trying to do, is discourage Trump voters. It's not going to work, guys. It's not going to work. So anyway, I've talked enough. I don't want to talk your ear off tonight, but I want you to watch. Tell me what you think. That's the most important thing, is tell me what you think down in the comments. I want your thoughts. Okay? And before I go, I'll leave you with this. One more thing that I said, and I truly believe this. When you call the president a clown and tell him to shut up, you lost all the swing voters. I really believe that tonight Biden put his foot in his mouth just by that alone, by those things alone. Horrible the way he treated our president. Wrong. Wrong. And I'm going to say this about Mr. Biden.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
You know what I'm talking about? That's exactly what you are, Biden. Mr. Joe Biden, tonight, that's what you are. Okay? And I'll be right back after this message.
Hey guys, if you want more great content from me, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Come on, what are you waiting for?
And I'm back. Guys, like the man said, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and also please like this video. Like the video and comment. I want your comments. I want to know what you think, even if you disagree. I love a good argument. I'm not going to hate you for it. And, that's just the way I want it. So please like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, before I go ahead and visit my website. Here I am, michaelantonio.biz. And, if you're looking for an easy way to get to my YouTube site, you can watch all my awesome videos on YouTube. They're right on the front page here at michaelantonio.biz. And you can check out all my YouTube videos there. I have a lot of stories. I aggregate a lot of different news articles from different sources. So it's a one-stop shop. It's a one-stop place to go instead of getting all your stories from different places. Remember earlier I talked about doing your homework? I make it a lot easier for you to do your homework by just going to my website and checking out the news, because I've got all the stories right there for you. You don't have to go searching through the internet, go to Google and do all this stuff. You can avoid all that just by going to michaelantonio.biz. And you also have the option to donate if you wish to me so I can keep this going for you. I do have a shop on my website. You can shop. I got all kinds of cool stuff. I have a Trump shop. In fact, I should take you there to my website. It's going to be michaelantonio.biz product-category /Trump. So you can actually check out my Trump stuff for sale. Be ready for the election, and even afterwards. I believe Trump's going to win this election, and you're going to love what I have available to you on my site here. Just to show you one of the things I have, I have here. I think this is hilarious. I have a what's called a waving. It's funny. This is funny. It's like a waving Trump or Biden. Of course, I have Biden on there, but it's a Trump waving Trump sign that you put on like your back wiper blade, showing Trump waving to the audience. Waving, and like I said, it's got Trump and Biden, but I know you guys are going to want to buy that Trump item. So go ahead, go to my shop and go ahead and grab one of those and many of the, hundreds of other things I have available just for you, my audience, guys. Come on. I need your help. I need your love. But yeah, I'm doing the best I can with this. But yeah, in all seriousness, folks, if you go to my site, you're going to be able to get all of your stories in one place. All the stuff from all the different news sources and a lot of interesting stories. Like I said, you got celebrities react to the first presidential debate of 2020. Now, we can look at this before I go. Why not? Let's take a look. Why not? So we're going down here and we've got, let's see what some of the people had to say. Alyssa Milano was among the earliest to address the debate. This debate is about good versus evil, she said. Trump needs to answer for his lies and failures. It's funny. I mean, Trump has been the most successful president in decades, perhaps ever. And here she is saying he, lies and failures. Really? Failures? Funny. Of course, then you got Mark Ruffalo. He, of course, slammed Trump over his Supreme Court pick, Amy Coney Barrett. President Trump is right now trying to use the Supreme Court to strip health care away from millions of Americans and has said he will use the Supreme Court to win the election, he tweeted. Remember, Justice Ginsburg's dying wishes were to appoint a justice after the election. It's funny, these left-wing people talk about her dying wish, but, I gotta say it, guys, it's not in the Constitution. You are not obligated to observe Justice Ginsburg's dying wishes. In fact, none of the existing Supreme Court justices can have their dying wishes addressed and obeyed. Because those seats don't belong to them. Those seats on the SCOTUS belong to the American people. That's who they belong to. And so when they try to do this stuff, they're absolutely wrong for trying to even say these things. Do they think the American public is that stupid? I don't think so. I mean, I could go through this list, but I don't want to turn you off to some of the celebrities that you might like. Like, for instance, Jim Gaffigan. My children behave more civilly when I take their screens away than Trump tonight. And it's like, wait a minute, so let me get this straight, Jim. I went to one of your comedy acts. I actually went physically. I got a ticket, went to watch you in concert, do your little routine. I thought it was a great show. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And now here you are talking like this when you ignored what Biden said to Trump, called him a clown, and, told him to shut up. Yet Trump was the one that didn't act civilly. I mean, come on. Come on, Jim. That's not even fair. Come on, Jim. Not even fair. Just crazy, It's just insane, And of course, now look, Joy Behar. Now listen to this. I just talked about the liar thing that Joe said. And of course, Joy Behar, she says, Biden just told the liar to shut up. This is getting good. So see, it's okay for Joe Biden to call Trump a liar and to be uncivil and nasty. But the minute Trump says something they don't like, or a little uncivil, Trump's the devil incarnate. You see, this country's out of control. It just is, I'm just, man, I could go on, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm getting tired of these things, but, I can't even believe some of the stuff that's coming out of the thoughts of these leftist people. It's craziness. And like I said, whether you agree with Trump or Biden, come on, you gotta be fair-minded, and these people are just not. They are not fair-minded in any way, shape, or form. So, guys, just one more plea for you. If you do stumble across my website, please check out my YouTube videos on the site. Subscribe to my YouTube. Hit that notification bell. Like the videos, guys. Watch them. enjoy them. I've got several hundred videos that are just waiting to be explored. And I'm counting on you to do so, so please do. Guys, I guess I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I want you all to have a great night. Keep in touch, guys. Bye now.